shoots, and he scores! That's hit deep into left, and that's out of here. Safe.
We'll play anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Jeffco softball. Come see what you're missing.
The sun's just come out. It's a beautiful day for softball here on JC TV. It's sophomore day here at Jefferson College, and it's the Jeffco Vikings taking on St. Charles Community College this afternoon. And on the mound for Jefferson, it's Courtney Dosa, the freshman. In fact, the only freshman in the lineup today in honor of sophomore day. The Jeffco lineup stacked with the sophomores. And it's the last home game for these sophomores. And here we go. And there's strike one to Dee Malincrot. She leads things off here for the St. Charles Cougars. And after Malincrot, it will be Nikki Dunnard and Jack Valley. And that one skips in the dirt, ball one from Dosa. So 1-1 here on Malincrot. Jeffco, another great year, 28-15 overall, as that's ball two outside. Jefferson College, 11-3 in the conference and 6-3 in the region. As this one grounded to short, Brittany Ponder, one down. And around the infield for Jefferson today, it's Kaylee Hughes at first, Caitlin McCullum at second, Ponder over at short, Brittany Ponder, and Molly Currington at third base. As that one misses high to Nikki Dunnard. And in the outfield, Natalie Sago in left, Caitlin Bowman in center, and Heather Kemper in right. As that one in the dirt, 2-0. And Dosa, the Vikings freshman pitcher. She's having a good year on the mound, 10-5 record, a 2.46 ERA, and 44 strikeouts. And also having a great year at the plate. She leads this team in home runs with 10 home runs on the year, and there's a walk. So Dunnard is on after the walk. And Jack Valley now stands in for the Cougars. And this one, pop to center, and Bowman's got it for the second out. So 2 out now for Amy Bricky. So early on here, no score. Runner on first for St. Charles and 2 down. And Bricky gets into that one over the head of Sago. And here comes the runner for St. Charles, and she'll score. 1-0 St. Charles on top after the RBI double by Amy Bricky. So Dunnard came around to score. And Meg Skinner. She's doing the pitching today for the Cougars. And Skinner in the air to right. And the catch is made for the third out. But St. Charles jumps on top quickly, 1-0. And the Vikings will come to the plate in just a moment. Natalie Sago leads things off for the Vikings here in the bottom of the first. St. Charles on top, 1-0. Sago pops that right side out of play. And after Sago, it's Caitlin McCullum and Courtney Dosa for the Vikings. And Natalie Sago, the sophomore from Farmington, having another great year for Jefferson. Thought it would hang up there, but that one is caught for the first out. Looked like that would get down, but just hung up into the glove of the St. Charles left fielder, Nikki Dunnard. And now it's Caitlin McCullum playing second today for Jeffco. And again, all sophomores in the lineup besides the pitcher, Courtney Dosa, today in honor of Sophomore Day here. So one down here in the bottom of the first inning. St. Charles on top, 1-0. And that's high and outside for a ball. So McCollum ahead in the count here. 3-0. And that's over for strike one. So 3-1 to McCollum. And that one's popped back. So a full count. McCollum hitting .284 on the year at the start of play. She's got 13 RBIs, 4 doubles. And she hits that to left and foul ball. And McCollum getting another bat after that one. Looks like she popped the end out of the top of the bat after hitting that foul ball. So 3-2. Here we go again. And swing and a miss for strike 3. So McCollum down on strikes for the second out. And here's Courtney Dosa, the Vikings pitcher. Dosa, the freshman from California. And she swings and misses for strike 1. And Dosa hitting .439 at the start of play. Again, she leads the team in home runs with 10. And 41 RBIs on the year. Even count at 1-1. And there's strike 2 as Dosa swings and misses. So the 1-2 from Skinner, and Dosa into left, and the catch is made for the third out. So 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the first. St. Charles leads at 1-0. We'll be right back with the second on JCTV. Top 2, Nina Mayer leads it off for St. Charles. And the Cougars on top here, 1-0. This one is popped back and foul. Very nice crowd here today for this one, Sophomore Day here at Jeffco. And the Sun just made an appearance before the game as there's strike 2, 0-2 on Mayer. A breeze occasionally will come in from the outfield as this one is popped to third, and the catch made for out number 1. Currington made the grab for Jeffco. And Megan Harper now. She is playing first today for St. Charles. And there's strike 1, called strike on the inside corner. So St. Charles leads this one 1-0 after the RBI double by Bricky back in the first. And that's called a ball. 1-1 here on Harper. 1-1 is swung on, and that's foul. So 1-2 here on Megan Harper, excuse me, for St. Charles. And here it comes from Dosa. That one just past the glove of Dosa, but Ponders got it at short, and now 2 down. And it's Steph Turner for the Cougars. She's playing second. And that one was called ball 1. Brushed Turner back just a bit. And the 1-0 swung on, and hot shot over to Currington. There's out number 3. And we will be right back on JCTV with the bottom of the second. St. Charles on top, 1-0. Bottom of the second, Christy Gamerick will start things off for Jefferson College. And the Vikings catcher takes strike 1. It's Gamerick, Kaylee Hughes, and Molly Currington in the bottom half of the second inning here. St. Charles on top, 1-0. And Gamerick to short. And she's out, thrown out at first there on the ground out. And here's Kaylee Hughes. Hughes is at first today for Jefferson College. She's the sophomore from Benton, Missouri. And she swings and fouls that back to the backstop. Hughes with 2 home runs on the year. And she pops this back of the infield, and the center fielder out there. Nice job by Mayer out there to call off the other St. Charles player. She makes the catch. So 2 down. And Molly Currington. She made a nice catch over at third to end the top half of the second after a line drive was hit right to her. And she takes strike 1 there. So 2 out, the 0-1, and that's low. 1-1. And it's still Meg Skinner, of course, for St. Charles, pitching well so far early on here. St. Charles on top, 1-0. That one low, ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike here on Currington. Currington second on the team in homers with 6. And that one fouled back, strike 2. So evens things up at 2 apiece. Currington hitting .345 on the season. And she's got 23 runs driven in. And same place, that one fouled back again. So we're still at 2-2 here with 2 down in the bottom of the second. St. Charles leads it 1-0. And the 2-2, Currington, and that's foul. So here comes a 2-2. And ball 3. So a full count. The St. Charles dugout wanted that strike 3 call, but that was ball 3 and a full count now. And Currington stays alive. Fouls that one back. So there's 2 down here. And Currington has worked a full count, hanging alive with a couple fouls. And now she's called out on strikes. And that will do it for the bottom of the second. St. Charles out in front, 1-0. We'll be right back on JCTV. Top of the third, Chelsea Sneed will lead things off for St. Charles. And they lead it 1-0. There's strike 1 from Courtney Dosa on the inside corner. And Sneed over to second. And there's out number 1. Nice play by McCollum over there at second. So 1 down. And we're back to the top of the lineup for St. Charles. Dee Malincrot now. And she grounded out back in the first, 0 for 1. And Malincrot over to McCullum. And out number 2. Nice play again by McCullum to get over there and make the backhanded grab. And then the throw over to first. So 2 quick outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. And Nikki Dunnard takes ball 1. She walked back in the 1st inning and she scored St. Charles' only run. And Dunnard swings and fouls that straight back. Vikings infield defense playing in. And after the call by Coach Tony Cook, Kaylee Hughes will get back over to first, near the bag over there. And Dunnard takes that as she made that move as if to drop down that slap bunt. But she pulls back and it's a 1-1 count. And that one a bit high. Ball 2. So it's 2-1 here on Dunnard. And 2-2 now after a nice strike from Courtney Dosa. That one right down central. So 2 outs here and the 2-2. And called her out on strikes. That's Dosa's first strikeout of the afternoon. And the Vikings will come up to bat here in the bottom of the 3rd. Be back in a flash on JCTV. Jefferson College looking to get some offense going here in the bottom of the 3rd. So far, Jeffco without a base runner in the first 2 innings as Brittany Ponder takes strike 1. Meg Skinner, the St. Charles pitcher, has retired Jeffco in order as there's a base hit. The Vikings' first base hit of the day. Ponder into second, and she's safe in there with a double. So good way to lead things off for Jeffco here in the 3rd. And Caitlin Bowman now. And Ponder will score the Vikings' first run and tie things up after she took off to steal the base, and the throw was a little offline over there at 3rd. So the Vikings tie it up 1-1. And Bowman still at the plate for Jeffco. So it's 1-1. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And Bowman pops it up. Skinner calls off the infield and thought we may have a collision there, but catch is made and that's out number 1. Skinner was making the call, but the St. Charles second baseman, Steph Turner, came in and made the catch. And here's Heather Kemper for the Vikings. There's strike 1. Swing and a miss for strike 2 on Heather Kemper, the sophomore from Bloomsdale, Missouri. That's St. Genevieve area. And there's ball 1 to Kemper. Ump says she held back after the check swing. So 1-2. It's all tied up after the double by Ponder, and she scored the Vikings run, and that one is popped, foul ground, and that will hit the dugout out of play. Well, Jack Valley made chase over there but ran out of room, and Kemper still alive with a 1-2 count. And shows that bunt, pulls back, and called out on strikes. And that's Skinner's third strikeout on the afternoon. We're back to the top of the order here with 2 outs. Natalie Sego. Sego lined out to left back in the first. And she's brushed back from Skinner. And that's ball 1. Outside there. And that's ball 2. Sego with 4 home runs on the year. She, at the beginning of play, was hitting .348, 26 RBIs. There's a strike on the inside corner. So having a nice year for the Vikings, and she also, with a nice glove out in left field. We've seen her make a couple great plays here on JCTV throughout the year. And Sego drives this to center. That's over the head of the center fielder. And Sego sliding into second, and she'll be in there safely with a double. So a 2-out double from Natalie Sego. And that brings in Caitlin McCullum. So 2 outs here and a runner on second in scoring position for Jefferson College. It's all tied up at 1. And the fans here would love to see Jeffco jump on top here on sophomore day. And McCullum gets a piece of that one, but foul back, strike 1. So 2 down here in the bottom of the 3rd. Sego's ready to take off out there at second. There's ball 1. And there goes Sego. And she's in there with a stolen base at 3rd. So the Vikings being aggressive on the base paths here in the bottom of the 3rd. Ponder stole 3rd earlier in the inning and scored on the errant throw over there. And McCullum over to 3rd. And that will be the 3rd out. But the Vikings tie it up. It's 1-1. We've played 3 here on JCTV. Be right back. Jack Valley leads things off for St. Charles here in the top of the 4th. She takes ball 1 a bit high. The 1-0 from Dosa is hit foul. So it's all tied up here in the 4th, 1-1. And there's ball 2 to Jack Valley. Valley playing 3rd base this afternoon for the Cougars. Here comes the 2-1 from Dosa, and this one hit high into center, and that's gone. A home run for Jack Valley. And St. Charles jumps right back on top, 2-1. And the Cougars greet Valley at the plate after the solo homer. And that's Valley's 2nd run scored this afternoon. And another nice play by Currington over there at 3rd. And here's Meg Skinner, the St. Charles pitcher. She takes strike 1. So 1 out here after the line out from Amy Bricky. And this one grounded to short, Ponder. Over to Hughes, 2 down. And Nina Mayer will stand in for the Cougars. Swing and a miss, strike 1. So 2 down here. St. Charles on top now. Again, 2-1. Jeffco had tied it up, but the solo homer by Valley put them back on top, and there's a base hit for Mayer. She's on first. And Megan Harper, 0 for 1 on the day. So the Cougars' first baseman in the batter's box. A nice pitch there. It seemed like Dosa had a little more speed on that one than some of the previous pitches, and that was in there for strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So Dosa getting ahead here. 0-2 of the St. Charles hitter Harper. And Harper, she ropes a base hit to right. And Jeffco making it interesting. The throw from Kemper out there, but it is 2 on with 2 out as Harper was safe. So back-to-back singles. And it's Steph Turner. There's ball 1. 1-0 is popped to the back of the infield. And there's out number 3. McCullum made the catch. But St. Charles jumps back out in the lead, 2-1. We'll be right back on JCTV. It's 2-1, St. Charles on top. Bottom of the 4th, Courtney Dosa to start things off, and she takes ball 1. It's still Meg Skinner. And this one's popped up. St. Charles shortstop makes the call and makes the catch. It's Dee Malencrot over there at short. That's out number 1. Now it's Christy Gamerick. Gamerick right back to the pitcher Skinner. And there's the second out, 2 down. So 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 4th, and the Vikings first baseman Kaylee Hughes will be the hitter. Hughes, the sophomore from Benton, Missouri. And she gets a base hit past the glove of the third baseman. So the Vikings have 1 on with 2 out, and Molly Currington. A couple of nice plays over there at third this afternoon. And St. Charles will chat things over at the mound. And as they do that, we will take a very quick break here on JCTV. Cougars lead it 2-1. 1 on and 2 out for the Vikings. It's Currington at the plate, the sophomore from Farmington. St. Charles wanted to talk things over before pitching to Currington as she pops it up in foul ground. And there's out number 3. So the Vikings had a base runner, but St. Charles ends the inning, and they lead it 2-1. We'll be right back on JCTV. It's the top of the 5th, and it's Chelsea Sneed to start things off for the Cougars, and she grounds it up the middle, base hit. So 1 on and no outs. Back to the top of the order for the Cougars. Dee Malencrot. Malencrot, the shortstop today. She's 0 for 2, grounded out a couple of times. And there goes the runner. And she is gunned down. So there's out number 1 after Sneed thrown out trying to steal second. Nice throw from Gamerick, and nice pickup out there by Ponder, I believe it was, and they had her gunned out easily, although the umps will talk things over. And they said there was no swing on the play, so that was ball 1 to Malencrot, 1-0. So a big out there after the leadoff hit, and there's another hit. So Malencrot will be on, and it's misplayed in the outfield, and she will get into second. it was a big out, as that runner likely would have scored if she had gotten that stolen base. But either way, 1 out, 1 on. And Nikki Dunnard at the plate for St. Charles.
Go Vikings, let's go.
And that one low for ball 2, so 2-0. Dunnard walked in the first. She's also struck out. She scored a run for St. Charles. So it's 2-0 here on Dunnard with 1 out. Runner on second for St. Charles. They lead at 2-1. And there's a strike at the knees. 2-1, swung on, back to Dosa. She looks at the runner. So out number 2, but the runner, Malincrot, does advance to third. Not really a chance to make a play there. But 2 down for Jack Valley. Valley with the solo home run to break the tie back in the 4th. And there's strike 1 on the inside corner. And grounded. Ponder under the glove of Ponder, and that will be the 3rd run for St. Charles. 3-1 after the RBI from Valley. That's her 2nd RBI. So Malincrot coming around to score the Cougars' 3rd run. So 2 outs and a runner on first for St. Charles. There's ball 1. It's Amy Bricky. She is doing the catching today for the Cougars. She doubled back in the 1st. 1 for 2 on the day with a line out back in the 4th, and that was one of those line outs that was caught by the Vikings' 3rd baseman. A nice play over there. As this one is hit into the outfield, and that will fall. So 2 on now. 1st and 2nd with 2 outs. So 4 hits in the inning so far for St. Charles. All singles.
Go, Jeff, go, let's go.
And here's the pitcher, Meg Skinner. That one inside and a bit low. 1-0. Skinner swings and grounds it to Dosa. And that's the end of the top of the 5th, but St. Charles gets 1 more. They lead at 3-1. We'll be right back on JCTV. Bottom 5, St. Charles on top here, 3-1. Brittany Ponder will lead things off for the Vikings, taking strike 1. It's Ponder, Bowman, and Kemper. There's ball 1. And the 1-1 swung on and missed. Strike 2 to Ponder. Ponder doubled back in the 3rd. She stole a base and then scored on the air after the throw was made at 3rd to try to get her, but it was offline. And there's ball. Ball number 2. 2-2. So the Vikings trail by 2 here, looking to get something going in the bottom of the 5th, and Ponder pops it up. And the catch is made over at 3rd by Valley. So 1 down. And here's Caitlin Bowman. Ball 1. Ball 2. A bit high on that one. It's still Meg Skinner doing the pitching for the Cougars. Having a good day so far out there. There's strike 1 to Bowman. Skinner struck out 3. She's allowed 1 run so far on the day. And 3 hits. And strike 2 there to Bowman. So 2-2 now. Even count. And swing and a miss, strike 3. So Bowman down on strikes swinging. That is Skinner's 4th strikeout. And here is Heather Kemper. Kemper playing right today for Jefferson. And has called strike 1 on the outside corner. And strike 2. That one at the knees. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And 0-2 on Kemper. Fouls it back, stays alive. So Kemper back in the box and ready from the 0-2 from Skinner. And Kemper. And she's safe, she reaches. So Kemper is on after the infield single. And we will have a pinch runner come in the game for Kemper. That's Hannah Bolin. So she'll run for Kemper. And Natalie Sego. Sego 1 for 2 on the day. She doubled in the 3rd. She stole a base. And on that last one, a nice job by Heather Kemper to just hit that right near the second base bag. And the play was made by the Cougars shortstop over there, Malincrot, but just hit right in that area where it took a while to get to, and Kemper able to beat it out. And Bolin taking Kemper's place at first. So 2 outs and a runner on first for the Vikings, and it's Sego. And here comes the 1-0. And there goes the runner. And Bolin is in there, and the throw gets away. She will try for 3rd, and she's into 3rd. So Bowman steals a base, or Bolin, excuse me, steals a base and then gets over to 3rd after the error.
Let's go, 1-1, let's go.
And the Cougars will have a talk out at the pitcher's mound. Vikings trail it by 2. We'll be right back on JCTV. Runner at 3rd for the Vikings and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. It's Natalie Sego. And Sego takes strike 1. 1-1, or 1-2. And Sego drives that to left, but the catch is made for the 3rd out. So the Vikings strand a runner. St. Charles still out in front here, 3-1. We've played 5 here on JCTV. And there's ball 1 to start things off here in the top of the 6th inning. Nina Mayer at the plate for St. Charles. They lead it 3-1. It's still Courtney Dosa doing the pitching for Jeffco. The Vikings threatened to score a run in the bottom of the 5th, but Bolin stranded at 3rd base as that one fouled back. And Hannah Bolin stays in the game for the Vikings, playing center, and Caitlin Bowman moves over to right. And Mayer popped, foul territory. And that one gets down for a foul ball. So it's 2-2 here on Mayer. Mayer singled in the fourth. And that one high for ball 3, so a full count. And Mayer gets down and gets that one. And that's off the glove, and Bolin hits the wall out there. She looks to be okay. And Mayer in at second with a double. So Hannah Bolin had a good read on it, but it was just off her glove as she ran into the wall out there in center. So a runner on second, nobody out. The bunt laid down by Harper, and there's the first out. But advancing to third on the play is Mayer. And Tony Cook, coming out to the mound. We'll take a quick break here on JCTV. St. Charles on top 3-1. It's Steph Turner at the plate for St. Charles. 1 out and a runner on third. Cougars on top 3-1. Nina Mayer over at third. She broke on that pitch, but stopped quickly. Swing and a miss. That one fouled back. So no chance there for Mayer to try to score. Here comes the 1-1 to Turner. Turner grounded pass. Currington Ponders got it. And that will score one more for St. Charles. 4-1 on the fielder's choice. And here is Chelsea Sneed. So 2 out here, and Sneed. The play is made, and there's the third out. St. Charles does add one more, and the Cougars lead at 4-1. We'll be right back on JCTV. Kate McCullum will start things off for the Vikings here in the 6th. Ball 1. St. Charles out in front here, 4-1. And the 1-0 is driven to left. Nice catch made out there by Nikki Dunnard. She made a nice read on that ball to retire McCullum. In fact, Dunnard's made a couple of nice plays out there left today for St. Charles. Courtney Dosa now, the Vikings pitcher. There's ball 1. Meg Skinner pitching a good game for the St. Charles Cougars this afternoon. She struck out 4, allowed 1 run as Dosa swings and misses for a strike. Strike 1, 1-1. And by my count, that run that was allowed wasn't earned. Came after the errant throw at third, so an error. And there's a hit for Dosa. And again, making the play close over there. But Dosa makes it safely at first. So 1 on and 1 out for Christy Gamerick. You know, oftentimes in softball, they hit it in the outfield and you think it's an easy hit. But many times that's a close play over there, as the outfielders just play so much more shallowly than we see in the game of baseball. So 0-1 here on Gamerick, and she fouls it back again, 0-2. So 0-2, 1 out here. Vikings have a runner on first. And Gamerick called out on strikes. That is Skinner's 5th strikeout. And Kaylee Hughes, 1 for 2 on the day. She has singled. As the breeze picks up a bit. That's called strike 1. 2 outs. Dosa on first for the Vikings. Hughes at the plate. And there's ball 1. That one missed, low and outside. St. Charles leads it by 3. Vikings trying to get something going here in the 6th. This one popped to second. And there's the 3rd out. So we will go to the top of the 7th. St. Charles on top, 4-1. It's the top of the 7th. Vikings trail it by 3, 4-1 to St. Charles. And there's strike 1 to D. Malencrot. Malencrot 1 for 3 on the day. She's singled. And that one possibly slipped out of Dosa's hand. That's ball 1. So the Vikings look to get out of this top of the 7th quickly, and let's see if they can rally in the bottom of the 7th and either tie it or try to win it. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1-2 here on Malencrot. That one popped right side, and that's out of play. So 1-2 still on Malencrot. And the riser off the glove of Gamerick. Ball 2. The 2-2 from Dosa. Popped right side. Hughes dives for it, but just out of her reach. Nice effort, though. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Malencrot.
Let's go, Jeffco, let's go.
The shortstop for the St. Charles Cougars. And called out on strikes. So 1 down. And Nikki Dunnard will stand in for St. Charles. Vikings defense comes in a bit on the infield, and there's strike 1 as the ump says Dunnard offered on the bunt attempt. And Dunnard hits that into the outfield. Bolin mishandles it a bit, but Dunnard with no chance to advance. She's at first after the single. And here's Jack Bally. She's 2 for 3. She did homer back in the 4th, a solo shot. And that one high, and Gamerick looks over to first to make sure Dunnard got back to the bag there. 1 out here, top 7. St. Charles out in front 4-1. And that one gets away from Gamerick, and Dunnard over to second. So after the wild pitch, a runner at second for St. Charles. And the 2-0. That's at the knees for a strike. And that's high for ball 3. 3-1 here on Valley. There's a walk. So 2 on here with 1 out. First and second for St. Charles and Amy Brickey. She's 2 for 3. She's doubled. She's singled. She lined out to third. And that's hit the left. And the catch is made. But the runners advance, but nice catch made out there by Natalie Sego in foul ground. And as I mentioned earlier, we've seen her make some nice plays out there in left this season. As the fans cheer her on, which this again, one of the sophomores, this is her last home game here at Jefferson. As Tony Cook giving some instructions. Was asking about one of the runners. The call's safe though, so still 2 on here, but 2 outs for the pitcher, Meg Skinner. And there's a strike at the knees. So 2 outs, runners at second and third for St. Charles. They lead it 4-1. Vikings want to get out of this to keep it a 3-run deficit, as that was ball 1, 1-1. And that one misses high, 2-1.
Go, Jeff, go, let's go.
And Skinner out to right. Bowman. Nice catch. She reached up and she got it for the 3rd out. So the Vikings trail by 3, and we'll see if they can get something going here in the bottom of the 7th. Be right back on JCTV. Brittany Martin, the freshman from Warrensburg, Missouri, will come into the game for the Vikings and lead things off here in the bottom of the 7th. Vikings trail by 3. And there's strike 1. So Martin hitting for Molly Currington in this spot. And swing and a miss. It hits the ump. We hope he's all right. He's going to walk it off. And the count is 0-2. So Martin got a piece of that one, fouled it right back, and hit the ump in the chest. That's why they wear those pads, and Martin jumps over that one. There's a ball. So 1-2, and 2-2 as that one was high from Meg Skinner. Skinner with 5 strikeouts on the day. She's allowed 1 run through 6, and that's hit to short, and there's the 1st out. Big out there for St. Charles. And here's Brittany Ponder, Vikings shortstop. And she takes strike 1. Ponder, one of those sophomores on sophomore day here at Jeffco. And there's ball 1, 1-1. She hails from Frana, Missouri. I may be butchering that name, I hope not, but one of the Missouri players, as there's a hit. So 1 on with 1 out here for the Vikings. And St. Charles will talk things over. Jackie Griffin will be the hitter for the Vikings. And as they chat things over on the mound, we will take a quick break here on JCTV. So 1 on and 1 out in the bottom of the 7th here for the Vikings. They're looking to get something going here. It's Jackie Griffin, the freshman from St. Charles. And there's ball 1. And the St. Charles backstop looked Ponder back over there at first after the play. 1-0. Strike one on the inside corner. So one out here and a runner on. And Griffin rips it but foul. So 1-2. One and two. And here it comes from Skinner. And Griffin popped back and off the backstop. So the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Vikings need base runners. They trail by 3 in the bottom of the 7th with 1 out. And Ponder over at first. And Griffin, there's a hit. So 2 on and 1 out. And Hannah Bolin will be the hitter for the Vikings. And running for Griffin over at first, it's Brittany Feeney, the freshman out of Jackson, Missouri. So the Vikings making a couple changes. St. Charles talking strategy at the mound. Jeffco making it interesting here in the bottom of the 7th inning with 1 out, 2 runners on. And Hannah Bolin at the plate. This is her first at bat of the day. She came in to run for Heather Kemper back in the 5th. And ball 1. You may hear the clapping coming from the Vikings dugout. Ball 2 to Bolin. So she's ahead in the count, 2-0. It's Ponder at second, it's Feeney at first. The Vikings trail by 3, 1 out, bottom 7, and strike 1. Two and 1 here on Bolin. Bolin, the freshman from Jackson. She pops it up. And 2 down. So the Vikings down to their last out. And Natalie Sego will be the hitter. So the Vikings needing a hit. Or anyway, Sego can find a reach here to extend this game. One 0, 1-1. Two on and 2 out, bottom 7. Vikings need to extend the game. And nice pitch there from Meg Skinner of St. Charles. That one at the knees for strike 2. 1-2 here on Natalie Sego. She's 1 for 3 on the day. And Sego, that one's going to get through. And the Vikings score 1. And now runners at second and third. So it's 4-2. And 2 runners in scoring position for the Vikings. And that ball got under the glove of Dunnard out there. which likely allowed Sego to advance to second. It's Caitlin McCullum at the plate. And McCullum taking strike one. The crowd's getting into it. The Vikings dugout's into it. McCullum, and that was foul. So 0-2. McCullum out to left, but the catch is made. So the Vikings make it interesting in the bottom of the 7th, but St. Charles wins it 4-2. A great game for the final home game of the year for the Vikings here on JC TV. Thanks a lot for being with us. We'll catch you next time.